Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Montclair Golf Club in beautiful West Orange, New Jersey.
Live stream
I'm Dave
test.
Broderick here along with Blake
Live
Anderson
test. 1, 2,
and
1, 2.
John Lubau, who you may recognize the name from. He's now internet viral with all his paddle videos out there. And we're here for the semifinals of the New Jersey Men's Platform Tennis Association League Classic. And guys, I think we're going to be in for a treat tonight. Blake, you want to introduce the matchups for us in the first match we're going to watch tonight?
Sure. So we have on the close side from Brookside Rackets Club up in North Jersey. We have Dan Wright in the white shirt and his partner Matt Puig in the ad side. And on the far side, we have Drew Broderick out of Canoe Country Club and his partner Ian McDonald. And I believe Ian and Drew have been in this situation before. This is Dan and Matt's first time in the semifinals on Monday night. So we'll see if the added pressure is something that they'll have to break through.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday night New Jersey Men's Platform Tennis Association semifinals of the League Classic. And we're about to get started with the first match. We'll be streaming is going to be, again, Drew Broderick and Ian McDonald from Canoe. And they're playing Matt Puig and Dan Wright. Dan Wright out of Brookside. Two young guns, up-and-comers.
I think that's our tail of the tape tonight. We have two veterans. They've been here before on a Monday night, and we have the young guns who have not played before. I actually think this is their first League Classic together. They took out one of the top seeds, and we should have a good battle tonight.
It'll be interesting to see the young athleticism of the young guys against the crafty veterans and Drew's brains. What's going to, what will win out, John? What do you think? You're a veteran out there on the tour.
Well, let's just worry about the introductions first. We'll make some predictions in a little bit, but I think it's great for the game that we've got these young guys out here. Dan Wright, who Bucknell guy.
Bucknell tennis, right?
Bucknell tennis, yes. There's a lot of Bucknell presence here, and his partner is I think he went to a school in New Jersey.
College of New Jersey.
College of New Jersey. Yeah, these guys have been playing.
The former Trenton State.
Exactly. There you go. They've been playing only for about 3 years or so, but they've really come together.
Okay, people, here we go.
They're very quick. Match is getting ready to begin. These guys have taken their serves, and we'll be back out on the court soon, and we'll get started. And meanwhile, on the other court, which I think is being streamed on a different channel, has already started, and we've got Mike Stulak and Harry Walsh playing Mikk Irdoja and Evan Zimmer, and Mike just hit a drop shot. Won't be the last, but those guys have just started, and we'll get scoring updates as we go along.
Beautiful night for paddle. Not too much wind. Air's a little crisp for some drop shots.
And we're at the brand new facility at Montclair Golf Club.
Beautiful
Beautiful
facility, right?
5 courts, brand new paddle hut.
It's a great facility here. It's a little windy. The courts here are very exposed to the winds out of the west. So we'll see if that plays a factor in tonight's match. As we can see, the wind is picking up a little bit, which might make it interesting.
And it looks like we're going to have our introduction here on this court here from our umpire, Greg Robertson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2021 Men's League Classic. This is a semi-final match. First, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Hudson Sutler, MI Paddle, Xenon Paddle, and our main sponsor, PPAC Private Wealth Management. Playing on my right, playing out of Canoe, New Jersey, Drew Broderick, and his playing partner, out of Canoebrook, Ian McDonald. And on my left, playing out of Brookside, Puig, and his playing partner, Mr. Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, play well.
Looks like we just established a new town in New Jersey.
And we're starting. Who would not want to be married to Mr. Wright? Drew gets a nick on the first point.
15, love.
Now it's interesting. Drew's the only player on the court who's actually been this far in this tournament.
I think Ian's been this far.
No, Ian lost in the
30.
Oh no, he did. He lost in
love.
the semifinals once, right? To Mikk, right? Was that last year?
We did not have this last year.
2
no.
years ago? Sorry, last time.
I think
30,
I
15.
think a big part of this match is going to be watch the speed of Puig and Wright, the two younger guys on the close side. They really proved how quickly they play in their round of 16 match. As you can just see right there.
That's a great
30,
move.
all.
I think the biggest part of this match is going to be what if Ian can play his role and play his role well. And
John,
hang
have you
it.
been here before? In this match?
In this match? I've never been in this match, but I've been here a bunch of times, and you know, it's a great atmosphere.
So how big do nerves play into this?
You know, it really depends if you've been here before, and you know, the young guys, although they've never
40,
played in this tournament
30.
at this level, they've clearly played a lot of college tennis, and there must be a little nerves, but I think they're you know, they'll come
Game.
out. Everybody will get used to it.
Roderick
You know, the nice thing is that you after a while you don't really notice the people watching, and you just kind of get into your game. And,
Lead the
maybe there
first
might be
set.
some butterflies
1 game to love.
in the first game or two, but it usually wears off.
You talk about tonight, John. I don't know if you know this, but the last time that Blake and I teamed up was on Monday night in the semifinals of the League Classic. That was the last time we partnered up.
Oh my
And
gosh.
you're here with us. You're here as our partner tonight with us.
Well, that's I'm quite proud of that. All right, so nice drive out of Ian. So it looks like
15.
that's Ian's shot. Ian is going to play a role tonight, and Drew has prepped him for that role, and that's just to look for the forehand. Oh, good serve.
15, all.
Otherwise, it's probably just lob down the line, don't you think? From the
Yeah, no,
baseline?
I think I think you're 100% correct in, you know, Drew wants Ian lobbing down the line, and he wants him driving the forehand every time it goes across his forehand. You know, I think
Great lob volley here.
if you look just in matchups, Drew and Ian played against Matt and Anthony Casamano a couple of weeks ago up at Brookside. So, you know, maybe that might help Ian settle into this match a little bit. But we'll wait and see.
Nice two-hander out of Puig.
15, 30, 15.
You can see Drew early on cheating over to the middle. He wants him to go to his corner.
Great poach here.
Good play.
40, 15.
And I think as people have been asking me, you know, since Saturday, what I think about the matchup, you know, I do think Dan and Matt are. They're fast.
30.
They're just physically fast, and you know, we'll see if Drew and Ian can kind of slow them down or take them out of that rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, Puig and Wright, they had a great matchup in the round of in the quarterfinal. They played our second seed of the tournament, Rosenow and Yuko, and
Game.
they took them
Puig,
apart pretty
Wright.
quickly, and I think a lot of that had to do with the speed that
First
they bring.
set tied.
So it'll be interesting to see if Drew slows down or stays up with the speed.
You know, it's a tough situation for Drew here because he can't play too slow, because if he does, they'll just isolate Ian. And Drew wants to be he needs to be the alpha in this match. So Drew's going to be, he's got to be taking control, and he's got to be looking for the two-hander, and he's got to be looking to hit some spins, hit some nicks, and taking most of the court like that. Great shot out of Drew.
15, love.
But he's got to be aggressive, I think. What do you think, Blake?
I have always been a fan of Drew Broderick when he's aggressive. I have not been a fan of Drew Broderick when he's not aggressive.
Yes, the guy more days.
Hey,
Over
he's
the last 10 years.
he's the only guy that could play with Juan Araya and put him to sleep
Very true.
when they're partnered. I hope he doesn't tell my mother about that.
So I think the really important thing in this match, part of this match, is Ian's serve. And if he can get that serve in, it gives him a much better chance. Oh,
Yeah, so you can already see how aggressive everybody's being on the
Right.
court.
well, yeah, Drew looking for that two-hander there. He's got to hit a better shot because he opens up the court.
And a little quick background of this event for those who are listening is we had one of our largest draws ever this year. We had 320 players from 38 clubs around the state of New Jersey, and you know, it's a one-day event basically out of on a Saturday, and then we play our semis and finals on a Monday.
I think it might be the biggest tournament
It is
ever.
the biggest tournament in the country, and for that fact, in the world.
And this is our biggest tournament ever.
Yes.
Yes, we had 218 teams on the wait list.
Oh.
Game, Broderick McDonald.
I just want to take a quick moment to say, if you're listening at home, we've got a great scene here. Vinny Campbell, who has cooked all of the food himself. He's got such a great menu here. He's got mac and cheese, buffalo chicken, hash browns, meatballs marinara, meatballs with sweet chili, hot and sweet sausage, peppers and onions, chicken tortilla soup.
How about mussels marinara?
There's no mussels marinara. There's corned beef hash, pulled pork, hot dogs, banana peppers with hot ham, baked beans, garlic rice with asparagus. And we're back to the play. So come on over to Montclair Golf Club. Food will be served all night.
Careful.
You got to watch out.
I was going
there.
to say that was probably the second or third time that they've done that, and
It's very tempting.
they've gotten away with it.
It's very tempting. What we're talking about here is Drew always looks for that forehand against the wire that he can really jump up and slam, and I've been caught many times with that over the years.
15, love.
And they got away with it there. The young guys did. It is quite refreshing to see Drew Broderick playing like this, which is just all-out offense.
15, all.
I'll tell you, John, I was up at Brookside a couple weeks ago, and Matt and Dan were playing a practice match with Jeff Hipkins and Anthony Casamano, and you know, you talk about refreshing. They were kind of refreshing to see playing, and you know, they're gonna keep getting better and better and better. So it's good to see these guys out there.
Yeah.
You know, we see Drew and Ian getting up to the net at that point, and one of the things I'm thinking about, because Dan and Matt are always looking to pinch in and move in. So for Drew and especially Ian, I don't think there's an overhead that they can hit that would ever be classified as too hard. Do you agree with that, where they'd rather overhit it to get it to a screen than let these guys take it off the deck?
I agree. These guys look like they really want to take their two-handers off the deck, and you know, at least if you hit it too hard and it comes off the screen, you can always bail on it.
Right. And you have time to get ready for the next shot.
There we go. That's a
There
great
it is
play.
again.
That's set up by a high forehand by Ian. Set Drew up.
Have you guys ever been hit by one of those from Drew?
I have.
I specifically asked that knowing that Dave's been hit.
Well, they're brothers. He's been hit by a lot of other ways by Drew.
Game, Broderick McDonald. Broderick McDonald leads the first set, 3-1.
See a little bit of tentativeness out of the young guys here. They're just, I mean, not tentative, but they're going for a lot of shots, and they're making a couple more mistakes at this point.
And again, as we talked about, you know, kind of playing fearless and, you know, playing with house money, if they do start making some quick mistakes, it can go the other way quick.
Yep. Up.
15, love.
Forced two-hander by Dan.
And I think part of the problem is, and you know, you guys would know better than I would, but I think, you know, Dan and Matt, how often do they see spin like what Drew's going to put on the ball?
Or for that matter, how often they see guys get the ball back when they're driving.
Well, I mean, Anthony Casamano gets the ball back a lot. He doesn't have any spin, but he gets the ball back a lot, and they do play with Anthony. I think Anthony would have to be one of their
With a quick update on the other semifinal, we have Harry Walsh and Mike Stulak from Short Hills are up 2-1 in the first set
30,
over Mikk
15.
Irdoja and Evan Zimmer.
A lot of ground stroke mistakes on this court from there came one from Matt.
See, like, that's a good overhead where, like I said, I don't think Ian can hit his overhead
15.
too hard.
Yep.
If he gets it into a screen, that's way safer than letting them take it off the deck.
Yeah, well, that's clear that that these guys, Matt and Dan, want to drive the ball off the deck. Good return. Oh.
Game, Roderick McDonald.
I'll tell you though, the thing in these
McDonald leads the
this
first
format,
set, 4-1.
could be very quick. You know, these guys. I think at some point these guys are going to have to slow it down a little bit and just start keep extending the points a little,
Right.
and working Ian a little bit more.
You don't have to put on the red light.
And we have our umpire giving us a little tune from the chair, which is wonderful.
Yeah, we're going to have to shut him up.
I didn't know we were having live music tonight, too. I mean, that's just an added bonus, live music.
Well, I mean, if it was Sting.
1-4.
As opposed to Stink.
That was one of the
Stung.
That was one of the worst voices I've ever heard.
Yeah. So far, Ian is doing a great job of just not being the guy.
So let me ask you guys this.
There it is.
It's very hard as a team like Broderick and McDonald to play against them because everybody feels the need to go to the weaker player. But that kind of plays right into the stronger player's hand of knowing where the ball is going to go. And I think both Dan and Matt can benefit here for actually going back to Drew's corner a little bit more.
Well,
to keep him over there and then try to open up this court a little more. But
it's kind of like an inside fastball to keep the guy off the plate.
40.
But also as two righties, they are also playing the unnatural side for them.
Yeah, but they got to get over that.
I just got a text from one of my members,
40.
Mike Sullivan. He said he wants more singing from the umpire.
Oof. Blake,
30,
does he want to be
40.
the only one watching us tonight, or is that why he's requesting that?
Hey, John, what are these guys' PTIs?
What's PTI?
Can you explain that to everybody?
I definitely cannot explain PTI, but we do have actually the PTI guru is driven down with a meme. I forget his name. Oh,
Damian Johnston?
yes.
Deuce.
Is here. Maybe we can get him in if we get some extra time, and he can tell us what PTI is. But it's something. Good switch by Drew and Ian on that one.
How fast do they
Now they're
switch back
switching
out?
back.
One shot.
Quickly. There you go. Good. Oh,
40, 30.
big point here. Big point. These Matt needs to hold on this one. Good serve right on the line. Good play by Ian so far.
And I think that could be an effective play, is hitting the hard roller at Ian.
Well, I mean, that's all up to Ian, what he can do. Here's a potential for a drive. He's just being smart. Keeps the ball in play.
And when I say a good play, like right there they go and they give him a big forehand to hit. where I don't think he's going to take big swings at the roller.
There's a smart shot right there.
Yeah. Oh.
Air Ian doesn't really work in the back corner.
Queen
No.
right.
He jumped a little too
Roderick
soon.
McDonald lead the first set, 4 games to 2.
Oh my God, Mikk the Stallion is officially a Hawthorne College grad.
The crowd is growing.
And real quick, we'll give the New Jersey Men's League just wants to shout out their sponsors: PPAC Gladstone National Bank, My Paddle, and Xenon Paddle.
You know what's really nice? I see a lot of the losers of the 4 quarterfinal matches here tonight. Zach Rosna, Howard Shear. You know, a lot of these guys are coming out. They love the game. Oh.
Love 15.
Now I learned that this is the all-important seventh game for my last boss.
Your last boss being Dave
Broderick.
Broderick.
15
All-important 7th game.
I'll tell you, Matt's missed quite a few forehands early on. He had a really good look at that one.
Yes, well, with Ian serving here, that'd be a great game for these guys to win. Good serve by Ian.
Really good serve.
30-15.
You know, we still have to remind everyone out there, at the end of the day, you got to still respect the value of keeping the ball in play.
Oh, 100%. Oh, just long by Ian. You know, though, you know what I like?
All.
He's stepping up and he's hitting the
He's
ball.
hitting
He's
it.
not.
Right.
He's not playing the softs.
And I think, quite honestly, you know what? If I'm Drew at the net and Ian serving, I'd rather him hit the ball through the back screen than hit it short.
Yep.
Let him go for it.
All right, here comes the switch. Nope.
Did Ian just call Drew off on the switch?
I don't know.
I don't think they've had a chance to, but I think Ian's doing okay over there.
So far, nope.
30-40.
All right, big point for Ian right here, trying to get it to deuce. Good serve.
Really good serve. I love that overhead. He can't hit it too hard.
Yeah.
And you know Drew's going to be telling him, just go hard side backs.
Deuce.
Drew held that ball very nicely.
I think you're right, though, Dave. I think Matt's starting to push a little too much here.
I think so. He's a
And
burst of
start
energy.
to settle in a little bit.
He's running all over the place.
The other thing, too, is, you know, you can't, as you both know in paddle, you can't try to beat the other team. If you try to beat the team and it's an even match, it's a level playing field, you know, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and you're going to do it fast.
Good serve
30.
by Ian. Good volley by Drew. Game point. Oh, good return.
Great spot.
Deuce.
Quick note, it's 3-all in the other match.
That's a gutsy swing.
Point to go up 5-2. No fear, Blake. No fear. You can't teach youth and no fear.
30-40.
You can't teach youth?
You can't teach youth. I wish somebody could teach me to be 25. Trouble.
Great lob.
Oh, good volley by Ian.
See, like, there's a good, again, an example of hitting that overhead.
Great spin by
awesome
Drew.
Deuce.
Back to deuce.
Ian telling his partner that was really nice.
Yep.
That's the kind of partner you want out there. Not the one who will put his head down after you miss a ball.
Another good serve by Ian. Good placement by Drew.
40-30.
Good volley by Drew. That was really close.
Yeah.
I think he could have
They're
called that
they're
out.
making a lot of good gets. A lot of good gets.
Good volley, but watch out.
Wow,
nice play by
great
Ian.
hands by Ian.
Drew's going to have no problem with that. Oh, Ian!
Oh, wow.
Drew is not going to be happy about that one.
Another big point down.
I mean, that would have been a great moment for Ian to say, Drew, come on, I can't do it all on my own. You got to help me here.
Oh. All right,
30,
back to
40.
break point. If they win this game, Drew's going to be pretty pissed about that ball he missed.
Tell you what, Ian has
That's a
come
really
up with
good,
some
yeah,
very
really
good
good
serves.
serve.
Yeah.
See, and I like that, get it maybe a little bit higher up that side screen, but I
like-
like that hard side back from Ian.
I'll tell you, that's great. I played a lot of practice matches with Ian this fall, and I never seen him serve like this. Oh,
Deuce.
Also, I got to tell you, I got to be honest, the music is really good out there. We got good music, the players are moving and grooving, crowd's into it.
Better than the umpire singing?
yeah, debatable on the music. Crowd's great. Oh, looks like wide.
Yep.
All right, let's see if we can capitalize
30,
if we're
40.
Puig right here.
Yeah, this is a really big game, as you said, the 7th game. Another good serve.
Wow,
Oh,
well, the ace.
service winner ace for Ian. He's just, you know what? He's just stepping up and hitting it.
So right now we're back to deuce, John. Who's this game bigger for? You think it just takes the balloon out of Matt and Dan if they can't capitalize and win this game with all the chances?
I think that Drew and Ian need this game.
I want to go the other way. I think this is just going to completely deflate Puig and Wright if they don't
I
capitalize.
mean, they
on
have
the
a lot of chances. They have a lot of chances.
Let's just say it's a big game for everybody involved, except for G-Rob.
Huge point here.
Yeah. Oh, yes, on the line by Ian. Oh, Drew's going to want that one back. I think that might have been the easiest shot he had the whole point.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Game.
You might want that one back
Puig,
too.
Wow.
right.
Drew gave that game away. Well, it's nice to see we got a
lead the first set.
give a
40,
little notice
3.
to some people
Nice
here. We got
7 games.
George Carter, we got Jimmy White on the side of the court, James Glennon's here, Maurice Braca. Who else do we see? We got Mel Blount, who's he's a Morris County member, a huge Bucknell alum. I'm sure we know who he's rooting for.
A lot of people. We're only missing Shorty Long.
Who's that?
Oh, if you don't know him, you got to find out.
Okay, we got Jake Toulis here, right off the World Poker Tour. I'll look up Shorty Long after this. We got Eric Mann. Johnny McCarthy. All right.
15, love.
So what do we think, John? Hold or break here after that tough game?
I don't know. You know, I don't like to predict. Let's just watch. 15 love. I mean, I'm sure that Drew is ruining last game.
Tell you what, I'm happy to see that these guys have slowed the game down a little bit.
Yeah, I think they really need to. They were going for too many two-handers.
15 all.
They're trying to hit winners instead of just keeping the ball in play and wait and putting it in the right spot. That was an example right there. Dan's hitting the ball awfully hard to Ian's wire. He might have some opportunities coming up.
John, what's your view on overhead tactics? What screen do you look to attack more? The side or the back screen?
You know, I usually like to try to attack the side screen more than the back, or you know, you have to go for the nick at times, but if you go for the back screen, you know, the ball can come, you know, usually comes out a little bit farther. You go on the side screen, for me at least, as a lefty into the deuce side wire, you get some spins, maybe try and hit it with a little extra spin, and it really does. It makes it very difficult to drive. You know, if you go for the back screen, you sometimes open up to their drives.
15.
A lot of mistakes out of Drew right here. What do you think, Blake?
We have an update on the far side. It looks like Mikk, Irdoja, Evan, Zimmer took the first set 6-4. Oh, it's a crafty little shot there.
Wow. I'm not saying that.
I think we've got a match here, John.
Yeah, I'm not saying that was that was a forced error, but you know, Drew's had a couple of unforced ones in the last game and a half, and for them to win, Drew's got to be pretty good. I think so far, relatively speaking, the best player on the court's been Ian. What do you think, Blake?
I think you're right. He's been the most consistent by far, but he's also has the role of not forcing anything.
Who's playing his role best? I think so far it's Ian.
I think it is Ian.
You know, he hasn't. I don't remember him missing a drive, more than one or two drives. That's a tough one, Nick, right there.
Great shot.
Nothing you can do about that.
Tweak, right.
All right, 4-all.
First set tied. 4 games apiece. Love.
Good move by Matt here, just a little too hard.
Yep. Almost looked like it almost hit Drew's paddle. It's a great play by Ian. Nope,
Great
that's going to be
spot.
trouble.
While we're here, we're going to have a little special guest come on and join us here. We're going to have Zach Rosenow out of the Short Hills Club, current fan of the Walsh-Stulak duo and opponent of Puig and Wright in the quarterfinals. Zach, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. Great match out here.
What do you think about this match so far? You think we had a little early lead from Drew and Ian, and then it looks like everything's starting to shift a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was
40.
like you said, cheering on my boys on the other court a little while ago, but driving over here, I was thinking about this match. I think it's gonna be a battle of Drew slow these guys down, or they can
30,
get him
40.
and Ian rushing a little bit to press as much as they can, like they did with us last Saturday night.
Oh,
Dude.
two volleys in this game they're going to want back here. Yeah, I think I watched that match, and again, I think this team of Puig and Wright, their agility on the court, their speed is something that can really push teams to the brink. You know, if there's anyone that can handle it, it's Drew.
40, 30.
The
I'll
king
tell
of
you,
slowing the game down.
Drew's got to have the best first volley in the game, or at least in the New Jersey game, but or maybe in the whole game, because that was a.
I don't know. I think your first volley is actually pretty good, so long that nobody gets in your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Gabe Roderick
maybe there's no net.
McDonald.
That, I think right there was one of the, remember that point in this match right here.
Yeah.
Down 2 break points, Puig and Wright have the chances to break, and they don't capitalize. So I think obviously this will be a big game for the match here.
Right, because they've got to hold to stay in the set, and if they do hold, they get to face Ian's serve, which has been really good, but he's obviously a little bit weaker on the first volley.
a little bit weaker than Drew.
Hey, you know, Ian's playing great.
He sure is. I was courtside a little while ago listening to Drew on Ian's last service game, and he was telling him, I don't know if you guys caught this or not, to stay back and to stay all the way back, which I thought was really interesting.
I read his lips when he said that, and he did say that, yeah, because you know what, if you're not going to come in, then there's no reason to go anywhere, and these guys have pretty hard returns, and it's easier to play the return if you just stay all the way back.
I think this is where you see a big difference in today's sport, though. Is look at the overheads on the far side. Other than the very hard roller, there's really not anything that can do a lot of damage. And not to advance it to a Drew's overhead, but I think that's where a lot of club players lose out on big points, is they don't have a shot that can force play.
Yeah.
30, love.
No, I agree.
I think that's 100% the next level for both of these guys. I'm guilty of the same thing. My overhead is the best part of my game.
That's a great return out of Ian.
No doubt.
Gets him back in the game.
30,
That's a
15.
big point, down 30 love after 2 mistakes.
Ian needs to continue to swing.
Yes.
Point here.
That is one of the toughest things as a pro or a top player. Playing with somebody who's a little weaker is once that player goes into hibernation mode, it's extremely tough. We have Rob Scanoni in front of us.
40,
Rob
JMPTA
Scanoni and
president.
and Woodford Reserve.
And Woodford Reserve. I think Woodford Reserve
It's a sponsor.
the
It
event.
should be a sponsor.
Sir Woodford. Yeah, it's amazing. These guys, a lot of up-down overheads, but their hands at the net, such great tennis skills to be able to accommodate for the drives that come at them very consistently.
Well, it's clear that Dan is working on the back side to Ian, or just the back.
And John, that was why I kind of asked that question before, is I'm a big fan of the back screen first, because I think side screen overheads usually just land in somebody's pocket, and they don't create enough movement, where overheads to the back usually hug that side screen for those who are curious about learning at home.
Good choice there.
40, 30.
It depends if you have spin or not, I think, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
if you
think
can
I like
hit a
going
side-
at the body. I think it creates a lot of movement from the baseline. So while we have probably one of the biggest points of the entire match, Zach, why don't you tell us about your League Classic experience over the last couple of years?
Oh man, we've had a great time. I've played the last 4 years with a good buddy, one of my better friends, and unbelievable tennis player as well, Will Kendall.
First set,
Willie had a
tie.
couple injuries this year, so he wasn't able to play this season, and I had the fortune to play with another very close friend of mine, Chris Yuko. We had a great run this year. Awesome event yesterday. Great job, Blake, running that this year. Weather held out for us, which was amazing.
Nice get.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
great dig by Ian.
2 good gets. We'll talk about all your friends later.
None better than the guy to my right.
Oh, I thought we were done with Zach's friends.
Oh yeah, that was
That's
it.
it.
Just the 2 guys next to me.
2, maybe max.
So last time we were here with Ian McDonald serve, we had one of the best games of the entire match.
Yep.
And I don't want to.
That's a good
I'm gonna
serve there.
say it, but he has been serving extremely well.
Interesting to see what Ian does here. I think Drew's telling him right now to stay back, but to stay all the way back. If I was able to read those lips, okay.
John, do we know where Matt Puig, you might have mentioned it, in New Jersey, played tennis? TCMJ?
He did. That's where he played tennis. Hang on.
15.
I got some biographical information by texting with the gentleman earlier today, and when I pull it up.
So here's a question.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys know this. I think I know the answer, but do you know how many years Matt Puig and Dan Wright have been playing?
I do.
Or how old they are?
I think I know.
I
He
know-
graduated college in 19, I believe.
I just know this. Anybody that's less than half my age is young, and they both are. Matt started playing paddle in 2019. He was introduced to paddle by Jim Holleran and Sandy Aldrich at Brookside. Only took him a few months to catch the paddle bug, but he
And how old
clearly
are
has
they?
it.
One of them's 21, I think.
I think Matt Puig graduated college in 2019. If I remember when I played him this year, he said that to me.
It's pretty good. I think, again, this is their first league classic, so making this round of the draw is no easy feat.
Oh, great.
That's a great swing.
Matt grew up in Allendale, New Jersey, where Brookside Club is located, with I think possibly some of the oldest courts in paddle, right?
Big point here. Some excitement on the other court. Mikk and Nevin Zimmer are now up 2-0 in the second set after winning the first set.
Another two-hander coming here.
Dan does a really nice job of holding that backhand, and very difficult to tell which way he's going with it every time.
Oh,
Uh-oh, we have our first
Puig,
yell of the
right.
tournament here. Oh, tournament.
Puig and
That might be the
right
100th yell.
lead the first set. 6 games.
Big.
to 5.
That's a big game there.
Big game. My prediction before this match started was I think it was going to be won or lost in under an hour. And now the first set might be won or lost in under an hour. Or over an hour.
potentially.
Well, me and Blake were talking earlier today about this match, and the question was, will Drew be able to slow them down, or will they blow through them? And whether or not they win this first set or not, I think that...
But clearly Drew's not trying to slow him down at all.
No, he's not. But
That's how Drew's got to play. I mean, if he slows it down, they're just going to isolate Ian.
Right. I think the length of the match says that it'll be interesting to see what happens, win or lose here in the second set, if he can continue to keep this pace.
6-5.
I agree, and I think even bigger, the focus is off of Drew and Ian. I think they're playing great. I think it's more on Matt and Dan. They started the match extremely quick and down in the match, and have really started to actually play some real paddle points. They rely on their athleticism like that. That's big.
It's a really big pickup by Drew there.
Love 15.
But I think, again, this is where, John, you've been in enough of these situations. This is where the real teams break through here.
This is it. You know what?
Serving
so
first
many
set,
times.
you can't let them back in.
So many times. Oh, that's a bad return out of Drew.
Toughness there.
15 all.
I'll tell you, Dan's serve is very attackable. It's kind of like a Stevie Holler serve, just a kind of a flat, very attackable serve. Not good return by Ian.
And how many times has Steve Holler won the League Classic?
I think I know he's beaten me about three, maybe 2 or 3 times. I think probably double digits. We've got the Graham Cup, which is now the Irwin Cup, in the Battle Hut here, so we could check it out. Big point right here.
Really good volleys here. Great exchanges.
We were just talking about it, Zach, before, and not just the first volley, but there's no way there's anyone better at volleying in the country
Yeah,
than Drew Broderick. No way.
I've played Drew many times.
No, if he could just learn a drop shot.
He's got some of the best hands I've ever seen in my life in any sport. I also think that the big case here will be the strategy, right? There's probably no better strategist in the game than Drew Broderick. Would you agree, John?
I agree. I'll tell you those.
I would love to see Matt cut this off. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
Oh,
a great
there he
idea.
was.
You
He
had
didn't
it.
have to. He didn't
Called
have
it.
to. But you know what? Just the movement that Matt made
All right,
on
set
that
point 1 here.
potentially caused Ian to hit it into the net.
Yep,
first set point.
1. Excellent serve down the tee.
Great job with Drew controlling the net here. Hold it.
Oh, he missed it wide. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. You knew Drew was going to hit every ball on that point. I think it really helps Ian and these guys that this is the first match of the night, because otherwise it could be a cramping situation. But anybody can play 2 sets or 3.
I think we have to go right back to serve down the tee and poach.
Oh, he got it to his backhand.
Great serve.
Oh.
Yes, that's it.
Excellent lob.
On the line.
Great hands.
Wow. Awesome hands from Dan.
40, 30.
You know, it's
Some
awesome having
aggressive
those
clappers
hands.
by our microphone out there.
Awesome hands, but also the ability to put that light pace on the ball so they're not able to get it off the backscreen is as impressive as it is to get the volley back in the first place.
I'm a big fan of movement at the net, and I think this is your perfect duo to start moving up there.
No doubt.
Make the baseline team think. John, did you almost call it there?
Oh, that's a
no,
good choice.
Set
Wow.
point.
That's a good choice
All right.
at set point. That's like one of your set point shots.
Might have been the only let court of the match so far.
So we have Puig Wright winning the first set over Broderick and McDonald after being down 4-1.
Wow.
Oh, were they really?
Let me
Big.
just take a quick moment to mention.
All right, real quick, we're going to
take a break here.
We're going to take a quick break.
Run an advertisement. Thank you for being here at Montclair.
Success takes hard work. Making success a legacy takes discipline. PPAC Private, your legacy, our discipline.
First set, 7-5. Puig and Wright.
All right, we're back here at Montclair Golf Club. Just want to say a quick thank you to the GM, Roger Bacon, and the beverage manager here, Zoli Toth. This is a great venue. It's a new venue, and it's beautiful. And it's a beautiful night for paddle, and these guys are getting ready for the second set. Drew to serve again to start the set, just like last one. And so I think these guys need to clearly you're going to see Dan and Matt firing on all cylinders here, and it's just a question of whether Drew can turn it around and whether Ian can hang in. What do you guys think?
I think Matt and Dan are going full court press here in the first 3 games. I think they're going to try to steal this away quickly, and it's going to really come down to Drew and Ian to see if they can slow them down.
So here's, I'm happy you said that. My 2 cents on how paddle works is you have a tight set, and then one team usually, percentages would say, usually blows out another team in the second set. This sport is one of the biggest momentum shifts ever.
I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. And as as we can see in the first 3 points here, you've had a couple of really good drives out of the young guys, and now it's love 40 on Drew's serve.
Yeah, this is not the serve you want to.
That's,
all right,
and
we've
that's
got an early break.
Right.
John, remember, a break is only good if you hold.
Puig and Wright lead the second
That is
set.
As I know.
That's true. Well,
We have real quick update too. We have Mikk and his partner Evan Zimmer are up 3-1 in the second set after winning the first set.
all right. So Drew's strategizing here with Ian. They're going to have to make some. I don't think they're going to slow it down. By the way, I think they're just going to keep firing here and hope that they can get some mistakes out of these guys again. But because I don't think it's in their interest. I don't think it's in Drew's interest to start slowing it down.
I think there's 2 shots. 2 shots we're looking for back here. One is the Ian McDonald drive, and 2 is the Dan Wright backhand. He has been firing and has not missed in the last 10 games, Dan Wright. But if Ian continues to play well and continues to drive the ball, I think this could be a toss-up of the set. But
Yeah, although
it's very easy to go back into the shell here.
Blake, you can add 16 games to that because he didn't miss a backhand against me on Saturday either.
Wow. Great sportsmanship here from Drew.
what happened?
Do you think it touched his hair? Should he get a haircut?
30, love.
He definitely should get a haircut.
I thought the haircut was for the Halloween costume, and it's still going. That was the last I heard about the haircut. What happened?
But Zach, Joe, what is it? Not Joe Dirt. Tiger King 2 has just come out, so he's got to regrow it.
Fair enough.
What costume are you talking about?
Drew is Tiger King for Halloween last year, so he said that's why he kept his hair long.
Wow, that's great.
That's really nice hands.
40, love.
That's 7 straight points for these guys, by the way. I guess 8 if you include set point.
Game. Puig,
All right,
right.
we've got a pretty aggressive swing.
Puig and right. Lead the
I
first
expect
set.
these guys to come out
2 games
swinging
to
on these
love.
returns here, guys. If they go up 3-0 here, it's gonna be a tough changeover.
John, we might not get to the all-important 7th game.
Yeah, I was wondering when you said that before, what happens when the 7th game is the first game of the 2nd set?
It's no longer important.
It's a little important. That's 9 points, right? 9
Love
points in a
9
row?
points in a row.
10 if you include set point. See if Ian can keep serving well.
Expect Drew to poach here, yeah?
Always.
15
First point of the
ball.
2nd set. Turning point right there.
All right, 15 all.
It looks like we've got about close to, I'd say, what, 250 people here tonight?
They're expecting 1,500 at the end of the night overall.
And this party usually goes pretty late.
That was like your wedding, right, Blake?
Oh, yeah. Big party.
We also have Amin, the CEO of the APTA, here tonight.
15, 30.
15-30 here, guys. Be interesting to see if we can get Matt to this return back here. Last one to miss into the net.
Let's go.
15, 40.
It's not looking good right here for the older crowd. But you see Mel Blount with a big smile on his face, rooting for his for the young guys, the Bison.
That is a great volley.
That
Wow.
is the 5th
Game.
ball that Drew has tried to
Puig,
drive down the
right.
line that has been hit for a winner.
Puig right.
Oh, and you
lead
could
the
see it
second
coming.
set.
John, do you have a
3
count of the
games
points
to
in
love.
this set so far? I know you were doing a great job earlier. It happened real fast, but I think it was 1
12-1.
point.
12-1.
Sounds right.
12-1.
And 13-1.
13-1 if you
Set
include
point.
the let cord.
And usually that doesn't fare well for the team with 1.
No, it's going to be tough turnaround. But you know what? In the finals of Detroit this past weekend, Ryan Parsons were up at 4-1, maybe even 5-1 against Durant and Mitchell, and they came back and won 7-5, 7-6. So it's never over. In fact, I will say there was a time that Steve DeRose and I were up 5-1, 40-15 on Caldwell and Cordish and lost the set. But shockingly won the 2nd set and then lost the 3rd. So momentum is very big, and it's only momentum
15,
is tomorrow's
12.
starting pitcher.
That's a big first point there. A little confidence coming into this 15-love serve.
John, do you know how many years we've had this tournament?
You know, it's funny you say that. I looked at the trophy, and it said that it was, and the Irwin Trophy doesn't have anything back before 2000, but I think this had to be going on since the late 70s. In fact, I did see Bruce Humphreys. He was wearing the giveaway from the 1986 League Classic that says NJMTA. They forgot the P.
30, love.
Interesting.
The Players Association wasn't
They thought it was
until the
just
90s.
tennis. Maybe the logo people didn't know that it was platform tennis. So, yeah. So maybe this is. I know obviously they didn't have it last year, but this could
40,
be
love.
maybe the 42nd or 43rd iteration of this
Yeah,
event.
we've got ton of ex-champions
Game.
in the
Puig,
crowd.
Right.
We do.
All right, guys, I think I'm calling this the game.
We're at 4-0 here, boys.
This is trouble.
Should we start the bus?
No,
All right.
never start the bus with Drew.
All right. Never start the bus. Okay.
Not until the last point.
All right. So-
But we've got a lot of ex-champions.
So let's look
in the,
around. What we got? I don't see Casamano or Holler.
I see
He's got a beautiful suit
Casamano
on.
behind
Nice
me,
navy suit in the back over here.
dressed up just for the occasion. We
He's
got
got
Bill
his hair
Kloss,
gelled.
I see
Bosses
Bill
here.
Kloss. Bill Kloss.
one-time winner, I think.
One-time
maybe
winner
two.
with Mike with Mike Atkinson. They won. They I feel responsible somewhat for
15
that
all.
in a rainy, foggy 2-set loss. Steve and I to those two. Mikk has won it. I don't see
30-15.
I don't see Victor or Lucas, but that's a long drive for those guys. Mark Rupert's a winner. I don't know if he's here or not.
I think I saw Rupert a little earlier.
Rupert was also a winner over Steve DeRose and myself.
Is Jamie Ferraro here?
Game.
Jamie
Roderick
Ferraro, you know, there's.
McDonald.
All right, that's a big game. We're on the board, fellas.
Puig
All right.
That's a big
Lead
hold.
the second
Back.
set.
I haven't
Four
seen
games
Jamie, but
to one.
Jamie's a winner with Steve.
John, have you ever won this tournament?
Puig right. Win the
Once
first set. 7-5.
over Nathan Lefevre and Pat Kelly.
I was going to ask if you won the first year this ever happened, but I guess it was a lot later than that. If Nathan was even
No,
played.
no, I was only 8. But I have played in this tournament many years. It's such a great event.
This is my favorite paddle weekend of the year, every year.
This is Christmas for me.
I was listening to the
Hanukkah
Inside the
for me.
Wires. And,
You know what?
And for me, John.
We should. This is our first holiday of the year. Actually, no, this might be everybody else's.
No, this is the last holiday of the year.
You know, I don't know if you guys brought this up yet or not, but I was listening to the Inside the Wires podcast a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember if it was Mikk or Sven, but they were both on it, and one of them said that if Nationals weekend and the League Classic was the same weekend, they would play in the League Classic.
I would too.
Love 15.
John?
Who's my partner?
I'd say me, but double lefties an optical illusion. It can't happen. Blake? John, you're playing with Blake. League Classic, or you're playing with Blake in the Nationals? Which one are you playing?
I think we could do both.
At the same time, I think we
Yes.
could.
Yes, in fact, I thought that G-Rob could have reffed both these matches.
Yeah, let's thank our umpires too. Greg Robertson, who has done a ton of tournaments this year, and Mike
I got it.
Yashemski. I
Mike-
think I got that
no.
right, but he said it's Swedish.
Yahemski.
Yahemski.
Like
I should know that.
Him and Ski.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's thank both those guys.
Yeah,
we
Yahemski.
have the absolute picture moment of the League Classic going on in front of us.
Jim White.
Jimmy White pouring
and
himself
Woodford
a
Reserve.
Woodford shot.
This could be it could be 8 o'clock in the morning.
And that's what this is all about. This is one of the most friendly and competitive tournaments out there. You know, we've hosted this at the Short Hills Club for the last I don't even know how many
15,
years. And it's such a big party. Again, 300-400 people on quarterfinals night. If anybody has ever wanted to come out here, ooh, we got a bad miss.
Game.
All right,
Roderick.
All right,
here we
back
go.
in it.
we'll take a break from the history here and go right back into this match.
Big service game here. Ian McDonald did a great job holding serve in the first set. We're going to see if he can get a big one here.
All right, 4 games to 2, right?
And what did I say when it was 4-0?
Start the bus, but don't start the bus.
Don't ever start the bus with Drew Broderick on the court.
Yeah, but you started the bus.
No, you
at
started
3-0.
the bus.
No.
John said never to start the bus with Drew Broderick.
Never start the bus with Drew Broderick.
This first point's going to be very interesting.
All right,
here.
well, this is big. This is where.
Hey,
where
John,
Ian, who's
what game is this?
the all-important 7th game. All right, look, Drew's staying back. All right, Drew is slowing it down a little bit.
You know, Blake, you mentioned earlier these guys don't have a ton of experience playing paddle. You have one of the most
15.
experienced.
You know, there's a tough shot. Let me interrupt you for a second. There's a tough shot out of Ian. He went for the drive, but his footwork wasn't perfect, and you really need to have good footwork and know where the ball is if you're going to take that drive. Oh, and that was
First fault out of Ian.
yeah. Oh,
Umpire
Love
confirms.
30.
Big point. Big point.
oh, here comes a big two-hander out of Dan.
Be interesting to see if Drew moves up to the net here.
Oh,
Great lob by
Great
Ian.
lob.
Oh, that's a tough left chord.
I'll tell you what.
Love 40.
That's 2-0 for Dan Wright.
That is 2-0. And 2 of the biggest points, right?
Tough
Set
overhead
point.
there, though. Tough overhead to give him an opportunity to hit
point
that
of-
favorite shot of his.
But I think, again, we go back to the first set. Puig and Wright were too quick. Way too quick. And I think they've settled in and they found their shots.
15. 40.
And that says a lot for two guys who have played in, the last 2 years they just started?
Yeah.
So, again, it's fun to watch the youth of New Jersey and the sport of the.
They have a lot of energy. They're going to be
Sport of
around for a
paddle.
long time. I expect in a couple of years, Wright will have a spin serve, and then that'll be even more
30,
tough.
And
40.
overhead. And most importantly, 2 great winners, 2 great losers, and 2 great guys. And that's what's best for the paddle community for sure.
Yeah, you got to love the great losers, right?
Love great losers.
Really big point right here. I don't expect Ian to hit many more balls this point.
Backhand.
Oh, that was the
Gave it to
swing.
Couldn't have asked for a better shot than that for the
Got a
5-2 lead.
little too excited, little too excited.
Great swing, though.
Yep. All right, deuce.
Big serve
What
here.
a shift right here.
Yeah, this
Love
is
40 to deuce.
Blake,
Yep.
is Drew poaching here? You know
Yes.
Dan's going down the
Yes.
inside out here.
I mean, there's no poaching that.
That backhand is heavy.
There's only one guy in the world I know who can poach a ball that hard, and that's Dave Barnes from Fairmont.
30, 40.
Drew's telling Ian that ball's not spinning that hard off the back wire, so he needs to not try and drive it, just to move around and lob it.
Yep.
And that's again where Ian had the bad footwork. He didn't know where the ball was going to be. Watch out.
Great volley by Drew there.
I don't expect Ian hitting any more balls this point.
I think he can hop in here and commentate with us for the next 30 shots. What do you guys think?
I'd take Drew.
Game.
Oh, that's
Puig,
big.
Right.
That hurts.
Puig,
Well,
right.
guys, the first set
Lead
went
the
from
second
6 p.m.
set.
to 7 p.m.
5
The
games
second
to
set
2.
started at 7:03 and it's 7:15.
Wow. Again,
Do we have a score from the other match?
we're going to try to get a score from the other match shortly. We've got our umpire having the time of his life up there. Again, the scene here at Montclair Golf Club, amazing night, great weather, one of our biggest crowds
We got an
I think
update
we've ever had.
It looks like it's 5-1 Mikk in the second set.
It's standing room only here.
15 love.
This
Just-
place is
Just because there's not that many seats.
But we are in seats, and that's all
We
that
have
matters.
seats. We're inside.
Here we go again. Poach as much as possible. Make the returner think. John, what's your call here? Hold or break?
I would think that this could be the last game of the match.
Zach? Now that it's 30 love?
30 love.
I agree with John. Never want to disagree with John Lubau. Anytime I disagree with John Lubau, I get a ball in the chest, so I'm going to go ahead and agree with you guys.
There
Sounds
it
about
is
right.
again.
Triple
How many
match
times?
ball.
I
Same volley.
hope Matt Puig is looped in to this right now, because ever since I
By the way,
said he
watch.
needs to start poaching.
Drew will be swinging quite hard at this one,
Will it hit us?
possibly.
There it is, guys. Excellent match from the young guys.
Right.
Huge kudos to Ian McDonald, Drew Broderick for getting this far. This could set up. Oh, it looks like we have simultaneous semifinals.
Semifinals.
So we will have Mikk Irdoja and Evan Zimmer against Matt Puig and Dan Wright in the finals.
John.
Stay tuned, and we will be back right after this.
This word from
The new athletes come up with new ways and new strategies to try and play the sport. It used to be played in a very traditional type of style, but now there are about 6 or 7 different service styles, many different ways you can attack or play a point, and it's just an exciting new territory that the sport has gone into.
Paddle is like a chess game. It's a combination of a lot of shots. You're not gonna kill the king with one move.
I truly believe that every person can be taught a little differently. There's no textbook way to play this game.
If they can see the court a certain way, then their shot selection makes more sense.
The earlier you're able to do something, the less perfect you have to be.
But you need to be patient and let them come to you. If you start trying to force the point, then I think you lose more than you'll win.
From this website, we really want to make learning easy. We know that paddle can be a lot. When you're out there, you're thinking of hitting the ball, you're thinking of the screens, you're thinking of your technique. There's a lot of things going on. So we want to break things up into bite-sized pieces that make it easy for you to digest, easy for you to learn, and then easy for you to implement in your game. That is our goal.
I want to use my whole body to rotate through, and that's what's going to give you more power.
As soon as you recognize your opponent is hitting a lob, step back 2 steps so you can help cover the space behind you.
Positioning, preparation, and patience.
Keep that ball going in there.
Take a risk, have some fun.
There it is, perfect.
I'm Johan Duran.
I'm Florentina Hanisch.
I'm Drew Broderick.
Macy Elliott.
Mark Powers.
Jerry Viant.
Hi, I'm Stephen Mitchell.
Anna Maria Zubori.
Martin Bostrom.
Marcela Rodesna.
And this is my paddle.
This is my paddle.
And this is my paddle.
This is my paddle.
Success takes hard work. Making success a legacy takes discipline. PPAC Private. Your legacy, our discipline.
The new athletes come up with new ways and new strategies to try and play the sport. It used to be played in a very traditional type of style, but now there are about 6 or 7 different service styles, many different ways you can attack or play a point, and it's just an exciting new territory that the sport has gone into.
Paddle is like a chess game. It's a combination of a lot of shots. You're not gonna kill the king with one move.
I truly believe that every person can be taught a little differently. There's no textbook way to play this game.
If they can see the court a certain way, then their shot selection makes more sense.
The earlier you're able to do something, the less perfect you have to be.
But you need to be patient and let them come to you. If you start trying to force the point, then I think you lose more than you'll win.
From this website, we really want to make learning easy. We know that paddle can be a lot. When you're out there, you're thinking of hitting the ball, you're thinking of the screens, you're thinking of your technique. There's a lot of things going on. So we want to break things up into bite-sized pieces that make it easy for you to digest, easy for you to learn, and then easy for you to implement in your game. That is our goal.
I want to use my whole body to rotate through, and that's what's going to give you more power.
As soon as you recognize your opponent is hitting a lob, step back 2 steps so you can help cover the space behind you.
Positioning, preparation, and patience.
Keep that ball going in there.
Take a risk, have some fun.
There it is, perfect.
I'm Johan Duran.
I'm Florentina Hanisch.
I'm Drew Broderick.
Macy Elliott.
Mark Powers.
Jerry Viant.
Hi, I'm Stephen Mitchell.
Anna Maria Zubori.
Martin Bostrom.
Marcela Rodesna.
And this is my paddle.
This is my paddle.
And this is my paddle.
This is my paddle.
So, like, people move over here? Yes. So people can move here? Oh, wow, there's a lot of people. Yeah. I didn't realize there was so many people.
Yeah, you can move those people up.
And McDonald Light is I'm stoked. That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I'm curious because I don't know branches like where the team like standard wise. Do you know? The guy died and played, but like he was dead. The dude had some genetic something that no one else did.
Miami. I got kicked out.
I appreciate it.
cookie. I gotta announce. We got a little pre-shout out to Aki. Yay! One more week class.
Yeah. We're playing Mikk and okay. Yeah. Great. I can. Yeah. Let's talk about it right now. Yeah. It's just yeah. There's just okay. We can sit inside. Yeah. Glad I didn't touch the technology.
100 cassette era party songs. This is what we're doing for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We're going to kick it off on New Year's Eve. All right, so we need to know basically what songs you would like to have on at your party. You know, what are your favorite party songs? If you go to SiriusXM.com/party100, there's a bunch of really good songs listed out, all right? Vote for your favorites. You can pick up to 15. And then, as per usual, we'll tally everything up and go back from 100 all the way down to the number one song. So a lot of those songs on the list are going to go away. We're only going to stick to the top one. Rachel Steele, I will give you the site again, SiriusXM.com/party100. This is one of your choices.
We here yet? Ooh, that's actually, I might start. Yeah, I actually can't, I'm pretty cold right now. Much colder than I thought I'd be, yeah.
go. This introduction is going to be spicy.
I'm pumped. What's gonna make it so spicy? That you're doing it?
You'll see. You'll see. I'm not quite singing, no.
We need to hold off. I don't know where our commentator is.
Wait, where's Paul?
Right here. How many you need? 3 or 2? 3 or 2?
No, I'm good now.
Let me go round up our commentators.
Chair. Up in the chair with a little spicy introduction coming up. All fucked up.
Take this one.
The other one?
I think so.
Do I need to help you up? No, they're going to warm up. I'm going to do an introduction from down here. Because this is going in the court. No.
Okay.
It's got to go up.
No,
So
I get you.
warm up, and then I'll do this other introduction.
Stop outside! Danny, do it for our team! Yeah, we did.
And welcome back to the NJMPTA League Classic Finals. We've got a great final set up for everybody tonight. We've got Matt Puig and Dan Wright out of Brookside, and Mikk Irdoja and Evan Zimmer out of the host club, Montclair Golf Club. I've got with me tonight John Lubau and a special guest.
Oh, can I introduce him? Can I introduce him?
You sure can, John.
This is one of my favorite lefties. One of the best lefties in New Jersey. the winner of the 2000, 2001, 2003, 2004, 2007, 8, 9, and 2013 with a different partner. Anthony Casamano is going to sit with us for a little bit. He knows these young guys. He knows Dan and Matt because they started at his club, and I think they feel that Anthony is a little bit of their mentor.
I will take a little of that credit, but these guys have a long history of playing tennis, very competitive tennis, and paddle for a couple of years, but I've played with them for the first 6 months at Brookside, and they are growing exponentially in their talent.
John, I don't think you emphasize that enough. We have an 11-time champion with us.
11-time champion. Now here I have
How many times have you won this?
I've lost it.
I have too.
11 times.
I have also.
I've lost it 11 times. In fact, I've lost many times to Anthony. But I will say this: I'm honored that Anthony and I took part in the dark finals.
In the dark finals.
Yes, I think about 10 or 11 years ago, Steve and I were playing Steve and Anthony.
Hold on, we're going to have a little announcement from our chair umpire, Greg Robertson, who expresses a lot of interest in this match here.
Just thank our sponsors tonight. We've got Hudson Sutler, MI Paddle, we've got Xenon Paddle, and major sponsor, PPAC Private Wealth Management. Special thanks go out to Vinny Campbell, outstanding job.
He's the chef, and he bought and cooked all of the food.
Montclair Golf Club for hosting the tournament. Last, great job to Robbie Scanoni and the board.
Rob Scanone, president of the NJMPTA.
Introductions, live from Montclair Golf Club. City landmarks familiar all over New Jersey. State Center known for beautiful homes, restaurants, and above all, entertainment. The city that pulsates because of the thousands who live here.
He wrote this.
Here and visit here. And in the heart of this great city, Montclair Golf Club, which has created and housed so many champions, and which is why tonight, from this court, we bring the most enduring champions of them all for the entire Western Hemisphere.
Howard Cosell.
The main event, 2021 League Classic Final. Playing on this side of the court, playing out of Montclair, New Jersey. Evan, I can run all day long. Zimmer.
Classic.
Partner, Mikk, which I am physically attracted to. Playing out of Brookside, Matt, I can't say his last name, Puig. And his playing partner, Dan, Mr. Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, from here on in, it's the main event.
All right, so quite the introduction from our chair umpire, Greg Robertson there.
He's channeling his inner Howard Cosell.
It looks like it could be an MMA match the way they're all jumping up and down, too.
So let me ask you this. If this was an MMA match, is there any doubt who wins this?
No.
Mikk in first, second knockout?
No, it's a weight situation.
Mikk in first, second knockout?
Evan looks pretty tough.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be here. So let's briefly, before we really get going, we'll ask Anthony this. What do you think are the X factors here?
So I will tell you straight out, the X factor is going to be Matt Puig. These guys are both excellent. Dan has come a long way in just mentally understanding the game. He's grown. He changes his pace. He changes his strategy. Matt, very, very talented. Will not take anything away from that, but he can get caught up in the moment. And if he gets caught up in the moment, he might miss a little bit. He might jump the line, he might overhit a little bit, and that's going to be what we have to watch early on. If he keeps under control, which he's been doing more and more lately, they stand a very, very good chance.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think the big thing in the last match that we commentated was when Matt and Dan were playing Drew and Ian is they were very, very quick, and I think that's their style of play. And then as the match went on, they really decided to slow it down and pick their shots, and I thought Dan's backhand was really the biggest X factor the entire match. I think when the second set started, I said that Dan's backhand and Ian's drive were going to be the two big things to watch, and clearly Dan had a superior second set. But I think we're in for a lot here. I think Evan's got to buckle down and be aggressive.
All right, we're underway. Mikk Irdoja serving. Wow.
Oh, that's big. That, to me, right there, could equal an entire match.
That sets the stage early.
I actually think it was a miss hit. Or they're just aiming at Mikk.
15.
Oh, Mikk faults.
30 all.
I think we've got arguably one of the best serves in the country, too, on the far side with Mikk.
Definitely to the deuce side.
Here's one I'll give you guys while Anthony's here, because he knows these two. I think the poaching ability of Matt and Dan is going to be a huge factor in this. I don't think they did a good enough job in the first set against Drew and Ian, but I think they closed out the match with such emphasis on looking to poach that ball. And I thought that was totally, there it is again,
yes,
totally an X factor in that.
And they both close on the net so quickly it will keep Mikk on his toes. He's not going to be able to be completely comfortable just ripping the ball. It's going to find the ball behind him a lot of times.
Well, so far, just in these couple of points, we've seen how the match is very. Mikk is playing it very different. He's much more patient than Drew, but Evan's getting stuck in his corner worse than Ian was, at least at this point. I think at some point you're going to have to see Mikk take over and start coming in and taking some of those balls. But it is early.
Fun fact, guys. First time I ever played Evan Zimmer.
Game.
10 and under junior nationals at the old Montclair Golf
Puig
Club.
right lead their first set. 1 game to love.
Wow. Who won?
Did you win?
I did not win.
No?
No.
Who's older?
He is.
Okay. I've never played him. Have you, Anthony?
I have not.
No, he's got a solid game though. He's not making many mistakes. But it's
this will be good, Anthony. We've got another guest jumping on here, but
right.
I want to give you the opportunity to give a couple little closing words here for your guys. I know you're pulling hard for them.
Obviously, I'm pulling hard for them. I wore a suit tonight just to look like I would maybe their agent to sign them for future deals. But I'm rooting for them. I think they have a great shot tonight.
Awesome.
And
Thanks, Anthony.
I will
for
leave you
jumping
guys
on.
to that. Thanks.
Going to have another super special guest join us here. We have the creator, CEO, owner of Xenon Paddle, Noah Seidenberg, with us here. Noah,
Blake,
thoughts on your first league classic?
This is an impressive event. It's not only do you have people out here cheering for friends, but their club mates and everything else. Quite a crowd out here between today and Saturday. This is really a cool event. Glad I came out.
Good. We're happy to have you. Happy to have you as one of the sponsors of the NJMPTA. That's not a ball I would have liked to hit there. Listen, I think it goes without saying that, you know, Xenon has the best ball in the game, and best paddles for that part.
Thank you.
I have officially, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, I've officially assigned Matt Puig and Dan Wright as sponsored athletes for next year.
Happy to have them. That's good stuff.
Anthony's their agent, though. You have to go through Anthony.
I'll have to come out for the League Classic again next year. Skip the Grand Prix in Detroit just for this event.
I will do that forever.
So the real question is, League Classic and Nationals are the same weekend. Where do you go?
Who am I playing with? John Lubau?
We go to both.
We're going to play both.
5-ball.
And we're going to win both.
Like Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Hop on the helicopter to get from one to the other.
You know what the one thing paddle's missing? He's missing the Bo Jackson of paddle, and I think John Lubau and Blake Anderson could be that.
I think so. We could.
What would be our other sport then besides paddle?
Not golf.
Yeah, not golf. Cornhole.
That would be impressive.
I've got a fiery group of cornhole players back at my home club, and we play quite extensively over there.
Is that an East Coast thing, calling it cornhole? We call it bags in Chicago.
Well, we call it bags too, but I think that's after the 5th or 6th drink.
Prior to that, it's cornhole?
Yeah, John, it's a pretty good play here.
Yeah, they're slowing it down a little bit. Everybody's playing pretty conservatively here. Mick's not really trying to attack like he did on the last point. Here we go. Oh, he missed it.
So Mikk has
30-15.
a slightly stronger partner than Drew did, but it looks like he's leaving a lot to his partner, and that could be a fairly important part in the match here.
I agree. I think
how involved can Mikk Irdoja get?
I think he needs to get more involved.
Ooh.
And he just did.
1-1 in tags.
Involved him there.
Yes,
we are at a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
We are at a tie ball game. I think Mick's got to take over a little bit more.
So Noah, just real quick, why don't you give us a little insight on Xenon, the paddles, the balls? You know, again, I'm a huge fan of yours and your company.
1 game tied, first set.
Everybody in the League Classic has enjoyed all of the Xenon atmosphere we've had. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. This is Xenon's 3rd year in business, and we've had a really successful 3 years so far, and a lot of it's from the support of guys out here in New Jersey like you, Blake, and several other pros out here. We've got Mikk Irdoja is playing with the paddle, Sven Burris playing the paddle, Anna Zabori, Flor Hanisch. So really appreciative of all the support. And you know, the ball, I think we weren't going to come out with a ball because obviously there were plenty of balls in the market, but we weren't going to come out with a ball unless we could really do one that we thought was a better ball. And I think the market has kind of shown that it is. It's, you know, the big thing is the ball is supposed to bounce and feel right, and they're expensive, and so they should last a while, and that's what we try to do is get a ball that lasts.
Yeah, and I can speak for almost everybody who has used it, and again, specifically myself and John, that there's no doubt it's the best ball in paddle right now.
Appreciate it.
Nothing can last as long, nothing's as bright, and we're super, super happy. Oh, here's a Dyson shot. Oh, we've got 2-1, John. And this crowd is fired up.
Mick playing to the crowd a little bit there.
Yeah, he is.
Fired up.
He apologized for hitting the guy softly, but then turned around and stoked his local the local crowd.
This is better than Macy Elliott at Darien Country Club.
Yeah.
In their Nationals run.
Well, that's because Macy didn't hit anybody.
30.
Oh yeah, she did. Did Macy hit who hit somebody in the finals there? Remember that?
Oh,
one of the women.
That's a big story. That's a side commentary story right there.
That's an off the wires.
But we have again, you can't see the entire scene here. You can see how many people are on the side of the court here at Montclair, but we have probably 350 people here at this match.
Absolutely, they're packed behind us.
And those tuned in at home.
Around.
Got to give a quick note to the guys at Fairmont Country Club, Morris County, all of those home clubs. watching this, giving up their court time for this tournament, and the Huck Commanders.
How many sites did you have hosting on Saturday?
We had 14 sites hosting Saturday, 38 total clubs in the draw, 320 players. Again, this would not be possible without all the Huck Commanders, all the volunteers that help us. Short Hills Club on Saturday, Montclair on Monday. It's really one of a kind here. But got ourselves at 2-1 first set. It looks like the young guns are slowing things down here, and I think we're going to be in for a treat here.
Did you mention the CEO of the APTA is out here?
I did not, but I kind of held that quietly because I think he's going to be a little special guest of ours coming up soon.
Although I could
we have some high quality celebrities, including the singer on the top of the chair there. This is now our second time listening to him, so apologies to all of our viewership.
Going to bring in Damian Johnston to talk PTI, and
nope, we are not going to have any fist fights tonight over PTI.
I heard that's a fun conversation.
All right, what do we have? 1-2?
We've got 1-2 on serve.
Interesting that last game. Mikk really took advantage of a couple of points with some really good spin shots.
Love 15.
Sometimes you have to be careful when somebody hits such side spin on a ball. You have to aim it in a different spot, otherwise you'll miss it wide, and that's what happened to Matt. Did you see that, Blake?
Yeah, I think I think you're right. Again, I think that's the move I'm looking for right there. Mikk is going to look for that middle ball.
Yep.
But I think whoever is at the net looking to cut that off. It's a tough ball to cut off, but if they can get that done, this is going to be a difficult one for the home club here.
Well, still remains to be seen if they can do that, though. They've switched in the back.
Switch in the back court. Now, John, why does the switch make sense?
Well, at some point in any given point, you might see
15.
Dan particularly get really used to working Evan's corner and working for the Nick. And at some point, you just want to kind of get him out of that posture and switch. And then you've got Mikk over there. And if he doesn't see the switch, he's got that as a forehand, which can be very effective.
30.
So every now and then when you've got a lefty-righty, it's just even a righty-righty, you might want to switch from the baseline just to change things up and maybe confuse the your opponents.
So that's where I look at. You have a righty-righty team at the net.
15,
Their hardest corner to attack and to cover off the lob is going to be the forehand corner. So
agreed.
Mikk looks to switch sides, force the ball over to Evan, who has plenty of offense, by the way.
He does,
and I think it's a great move. Again, it's not Mikk, but I don't think Mikk needs it. That's a big swing there in this match. So I think, again, it all comes down to strategy.
Right, and sometimes, when you get a lefty, usually the backhand player will get more play from the baseline because of the two righties at net. But when you've got Mikk stuck on the left-hand side, or on the deuce side, you sometimes want to switch and give him a chance for the forehand.
What do you think about Evan lobbing the ball down his line to kind of force them to bring the ball over to Mikk rather than taking
Interesting
the
thought. Do you know what you're talking about before you say that?
You qualified.
A little bit.
All right. Well, I am a huge fan of that. Anytime we lob the ball down the line, we tend to take the ball across the court.
Right.
Which, again, in Evan's case would be over to Mikk.
Well, the idea being that when you lob the ball down the line, your partner can see it coming and your partner can get ready with some offense, and it takes the pressure off you. So you really, when you lob the ball down the line, you're trying to set up your partner to have some offense.
So I don't know if anyone knows this. I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure Evan and Dan Wright are good buddies because they both played tennis at Bucknell.
No,
John,
they didn't.
Can you have any
any
thoughts on that?
No, they didn't. I think they met at Brookside. Because Dan went to Bucknell, we know that, but Matt went to college in New Jersey.
What about Dan and Evan Zimmer?
Oh, did Evan go? Oh, right, did Evan go to Bucknell?
I think Evan went to Bucknell.
Yes.
Maybe he was Dan's big brother in the fraternity.
There you go.
Oh.
Down
Did
the
he miss
line
that?
lob. Look at that.
I think Dan might have lost that in the lights.
I think he looked at G-Rob and got scared.
Why does G-Rob have to be smoking a cigar? Because he's outside.
There's no other way the League Classic would operate.
That's true.
Is that the worst
Game, Irdoja,
All right,
Zimmer.
that was our first big game there.
Yes, it
Irdoja
was.
Zimmer leads
I think
the
we're
first
going
set,
to
3
we're going to
games to 1.
bring another big guest in here. I know our viewership loves having some new voices here. So Noah, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, we appreciate all of the help and support for the New Jersey Men's League. And again, anybody who's looking for a paddle out there, there's no other place to look other than Xenon Paddle. So Noah, thank you so much. We're gonna bring a special guest on.
Just give us
somebody who has played in this a couple of times. Might know what he's talking about.
just another lefty.
Yeah, you know what? We're big on our lefties here.
Nothing wrong with lefties.
I hate lefties. I like you guys as people, but I hate lefties.
Oh, well, that's nice that you like us as people.
So we're about to be joined by.
I will announce New Jersey's got some very strong lefties over the years. We've got a couple national champion lefties. I think the only 2 lefty national champions might be from New Jersey. We've got Scott Estes, who didn't make it tonight because he lives in Ohio. But we have Drew with us. Drew Broderick, 3-time national champion. Drew, how many times have you won the League Classic?
Well, first off, John, I won nationals 4 times, not 3.
You?
I think you're away.
You alone?
You might have been away for one of them.
I missed one. Sorry about that. With how many partners? 2?
2 partners, yeah.
2 partners. Yeah. Chris Gambino and Jared Palmer. And how many times have you won this tournament, Drew?
I believe 3 times.
And with how many partners?
2 partners. 2 partners. Pat Shallcross and I won it for Canoebrook 2 years in a row. And then back in 2011, Pat Kelly and I won it for Essex Fells Country Club. Actually, we beat John Lubau and Steve DeRose in the final.
Ouch.
Yep. That was one of the first finals. I think that might have been the first final at Essex Fells. Was there a band that night?
There was a band. There was a lot going on. I drank a 6-pack in that final. You know.
That was a long final. I wore that. I wore that Ranger shirt. I still have it.
Is it safe to say that it's a good thing PTIs weren't around then?
Oh my.
John, what's your PTI?
I'm not even sure.
I think you were like a 6.
6 sounds
yeah,
good.
So.
Sounds I'm a 6 golfer.
That sounds good to me. That makes us underdogs in a lot of matches.
All right. Okay.
So let's put a little focus on this. So Drew, you just you came off a tough loss against Matt and Dan. Can you tell us a little bit about how they played? What you thought about your match?
They played great. So all respect to them. They're young players. They're new to the game. They're putting a lot of time in playing, and they're going from playing tennis on the paddle court to being real paddle players. So they're very good. They played great against us. We kind of had them on the ropes, and then they fought off a tough game and came back to beat us. So they're playing solid paddle. I mean, they're under the tutelage of Anthony Casamano and the Hipper and so many great players that are up in Brookside. And I know they've logged in enough hours to transform from tennis players to paddle players. So this is a great match to watch. There's lots of action. All 4 players on the court are, let's call it, former competitive tennis players, with Mikk having the best resume and Mikk having the best paddle resume. So it's score being 3-1. I think 30-40. My money is on Mikk and Evan, but at the same time, these guys have nothing to lose, and they're young enough where they could play all night.
Ooh, and we got a fault to take it to on serve here.
Right.
3-2.
Again, I am very I'm happy, and I'm really excited to watch these 2 guys transform from the first match against you, Drew. How they were super quick in every point, and now they've slowed everything down. I think they're really learning right in front of our eyes here.
Yeah, I think so too. Meanwhile, Drew, can you just say a little bit about your partner Ian? He played Ian McDonald, who's played. I thought he played incredibly. I thought he served incredibly well in that match. Why don't you talk a little bit about what your strategy was when you've obviously got a player yourself with a little bit more skill playing with Ian, who's playing obviously against these young guys. And why don't you talk a little bit about Ian?
Yeah, Ian played great all tournament. I felt very confident coming into tonight. I could tell you what, I was thrown off a little bit with Puig and Wright's aggressive returns. I thought we were going to have an easier time taking the net. Early on in the match, we did take the net quite a bit, and my spin was able to get the best of them. And then next thing you know, they were blitzing and ripping returns. So, but Ian played phenomenal. You know, we came in with a game plan. I give the other guys credit. They kind of threw us off the game plan a little bit with different speeds and locations of their overheads. And, you know, I mean, that's paddle. I mean,
talk a little bit about, you know, the game plan. And you don't have to specifically talk about yours and Ian's game plan, but talk about the game plan where you've got a stronger player and a weaker player. And do you think it's important to get the weaker player to concentrate on just one or two things to really simplify the game? And you think that really is that something that you believe in, and it helps overtake when you might have a tougher team overall?
Yeah, and I think the best advice I could give, you know, when you go out on the court and you have one dominant player, I think both players actually need to stick to having two shots that they're focusing on. Because,
2 shots.
Yeah, because I think it's also easy for me to go outside the box and press too much and go outside of what I'm good at. So as much as Ian and I are talking and he's focusing on his two things, I think it's important that I stay within the lines of the game plan, and you know, because that's paddle too. I mean, the best teams are the teams that work well as a team, not one person necessarily just going on the fly.
Irdoja, Zimmer.
All right, we've had some interesting action going on here. Now the
John,
sorry.
what game is this?
This is the all-important 7th game, which afterwards we will have a word from our sponsors. But for right here, you've got Evan serving up 4-2. And you're right. This is
That's big. This has always been my my thing here. I think the 7th game in most sets is one of the most important games. And Drew, for yours, I don't know if I think I spoke to you outside about it, but we had a 4-2 lead in the first set, and Puig and Wright really just they hunkered down and they came back in a tough service game from Ian. And then in the second set,
well, by the way, we were up 4-1, 40 love.
Yes, and
not to bring back bad memories.
I think right at that point, I called that paddle is the biggest momentum shift in any sport. So I appreciate you backing me up there. But this 7th game, again, it's usually around this 4-2 mark, 3-3 mark, and I find that a lot of teams that take this 7th game tend to have good results. The one thing here, and you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think Mick's got to do a lot more at net. I think he's got to poach a lot more.
I don't disagree, but I'm also going to give Mikk credit where he's staying within the lines and he's trusting his partner. And I think that's the difference, you know, when it's all 4 pros on the court. That's been the difference in Mick's game this year versus other years. I think he's not being over-aggressive because he can be. I mean, he covers a lot of court. He's got big shots. And I think him settling down has definitely helped just his composure on the court and leading to his success for the season.
All right, we've got a 5-2 lead here, and we're going to go to a quick break here and a word from our sponsors.
Wait, that was 275. Gotta pay attention, Ankle. Watch that one behind you.
And we are back
More than that, I think.
at Montclair Golf Club. We have a 5-2 lead for Irdoja and Zimmer here. And it'll be interesting to see how Matt Puig and Dan Wright come back here. Again, fully capable of changing momentum as they did in their semifinal, down 4-1. But as we've seen, big X factor in a couple different shots here. To Drew Broderick's credit, as he was telling us before, Mikk has stayed within his lane, done what he does best, and that's figure out the pace of play and put the ball in the right spot. And again, credit to Evan Zimmer for really playing a strong backhand corner. It's tough as a stronger player playing the backhand. Obviously, a super difficult job as two righties to cover that ad side, but Evan has done a great job.
Love 15.
That he has. All right. Big game here, 5-2, the 8th game. See if these guys can stay in the set.
All.
All right, we're going to have another guest shortly. Meanwhile, let's see how much longer this first set goes.
So what do you think? What do you think is the adjustment here? Again, I know Mick's had a couple big swings, but it looks like we're starting to get back to pushing a little bit from the Puig Wright team. So we'll see what our next guest has to say here. We have a very qualified guest here. We have the CEO, and by the way, I'm just going to go on record here. He's not the guy to complain to if you have a PTI question. There's somebody else. But one of the best guys to know in the game, and definitely one of the most knowledgeable. We have Amin Kaduri, CEO of the APTA. Amin, thanks for joining us.
Blake, John, good to be here. Thanks. This is awesome.
Thanks for coming down. Amin drove down from Boston today, got a flat tire, but that didn't deter him. He didn't fix it himself, but he's here.
10-minute pit stop.
So
it's fortunate.
So Amin, what do you think? Your first league classic?
It's all, just being down here in the environment. We do a lot of really good things in Boston, but we don't have anything like this, and it's good to kind of see what all the different leagues do, and this is a tremendous event. I mean, the atmosphere and the environment, so it's awesome.
And I
think
so
we've got first set.
First
set for Irdoja and Zimmer here. Again, we expect some big changes out of Puig and Wright, and I think they're definitely capable of it, but we'll see if the hometown crowd can really cheer Mikk on.
I love how many people you guys have out here watching this. It's just awesome.
It's really blossomed, and this is a great crowd, probably maybe 500 or 1,000 people here tonight. And this is actually, why don't we talk for a second about the fact that there's a new format this year in this tournament, in that pros cannot play with each other.
Yes. So years past, we have had pros able to play with another, a pro and assistant
pro. And assistant pro, and there's been a lot of names on this trophy.
Yes.
I don't want to say that Victor and Lucas are the reason that we changed that rule, but
nope, the 10th ranked team in the country has definitely never won this.
They were back-to-back champions.
They were back-to-back. They were back-to-back, and there have been some talk over the years that it wasn't fair to have pros play with pros in the same club, and I think it's a good change. I think it opened. This tournament was even though we've got the 1 seed, but these
got a couple young tennis studs out here clearly.
So
right?
Matt Puig and Dan Wright were our 8th seed. So this is 1 and 8.
1 and 8, and so they've made a move.
Extremely interesting.
No pros.
Actually, I take that back. This is 1 and 7.
Okay.
This is. I think this is the deepest we've ever had the tournament.
And the most wide open.
I think that goes without saying that the pro rule has really changed that. In years past, we have had about 4 teams that have a shot and are expected to make Monday, where I think this Monday was, again, exciting. We had the Short Hills tandem of Harry Walsh, their pro, and Mike Stulak, the Hall of Famer, battle Mikk and Evan Zimmer to a 6-4, 6-1 loss. But a great match, and you have these two young guys. I don't know if you know this, but Matt Puig, who's returning now, and Dan Wright, they've only played paddle for about a year and a half.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
They look pretty comfortable out there against one of the top players, if not the top 2 or 3 players in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dan's going to establish himself quickly as one of the better backhand swings in the game here too.
Yeah, I think he's on his way.
What really sent a message was the fact that Mikk and Sven are here instead of going out to one of the 4 Grand Prix of the entire season. And that tells you what this tournament means to this area. That's pretty damn impressive. I mean, there's prize money out there, big points, APTA Cup points, and where are they? They're right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost it looks like we have a let court that almost hit Dan on the fly.
40-30.
And I don't think it did, but yeah, I mean, we had the conversation before if and the teams always ended up as John Lubow and Blake Anderson.
Of course.
If Nationals and the League Classic were on the same weekend, what would we choose? And John and I chose to win both.
Yes, we're going to play both.
No, we're not going to play both. We're going to win both.
We're going to win. Yeah, I think
if you gave
more
me the
expensive
decision
to play
of
the
which to
Nationals.
play,
We would pay for the League Classic.
subsidized by the
If we
board.
were going to pay one entrance fee, it would be for the League Classic.
Correct.
Hey, I hear you, lad. The message is we ought to think twice about what dates we put our Grand Prix on.
I think so.
Message delivered.
Yeah, who needed a Grand Prix in mid-December?
And I think, you know what,
That's
better
okay.
yet, though, I think the country's on notice. New Jersey paddles for real.
Amen.
We have the tournament of tournaments here, and it is as serious as it gets. Again, with the teams, with the competition, with the bourbon, everything you could imagine.
Love the Woodworth Circle on being poured out tonight. Well, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank New Jersey Men and Women's League. You're all APTA members this year. We truly appreciate you guys all being members. Thank you for coming back into the fold. And you guys are 3,000 strong league players, more than that. It's a significant part of the APTA, so thank you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And while we're at the thanking standpoint, I think it's important to congratulate Detroit for holding their first Grand Prix, a national tournament. They're willing to do it when I don't think anybody else stepped up in the Midwest.
They did
but they did a great job.
They did an unbelievable job. Lincoln out there at Orchard Lakes, and all the pros at all the clubs out there were the players had an awesome experience. Spectators were there, awesome experience. It was a great paddle. So there's just so much good paddle being everywhere in the country right now. You can't be everywhere.
That's right.
Good swing there, but I don't know if that's the decision. This, John, let's go back to this real quick. Again, I think Dan and Matt are really going to have to hunker down and figure out their plan here, because I don't think the plan is attack. And unfortunately, that's kind of their MO, like that. Listen, I can tell you this right now. If the crowd gets fired up and Mikk Irdoja gets fired up, be careful.
He gave a couple. He was at Nationals last year.
We may be commentating nobody on the court in a couple minutes, because once that train gets rolling, it is tough to stop.
Yeah, and I don't know if I think these guys just need to try and slow it down a little bit. I mean, it's the easy thing to say, but I think they have to do that.
I'd say my first time at Montclair Golf Club too. What this facility is.
Brand new facility.
Just a bunch of good old boys.
Brand new facility, second to Fairmont Country Club in New Jersey. Unfortunately, there's no real argument there, both talent and facility-wise. But we're glad to be here. Next year, I think we could be seeing Fairmont Country Club in the
Do the finals move
on the
around?
horizon.
Do the finals move around?
Yes. So years past, we've hosted the finals at Essex Fells Country Club, which Sven Burish is the pro right now. Mikk Irdoja, formerly the pro. And one of the best parts, and I can recall, I have played this tournament, since I was 13. This is actually the first year I've missed.
Is that right?
And one of the best parts about this
Were you away?
This year,
Yeah.
I was hurt.
Oh, I thought you were away.
Nope, my ego was hurt, and I did not want to play this year.
Understandable.
And one of the best parts about this is the finals. You never know how long it's going to go. We have been out here till 1 o'clock, 1:30.
Come on.
12. Oh, yeah.
I
specifically remember one of the finals when I was younger of, I want to say, and I could have it wrong,
Bill
30,
Kloss,
15.
Mike Atkinson,
Yeah, Cole stands.
Steve Holler, and Anthony Cosmano.
Wow, were they in the finals?
I think that final started at 10:30.
Wow.
And it was a battle.
I don't. I will
Did you
say.
Liv, what was your draw like this year?
Oh, we had a tough draw. I played with Dan Urban, a member at Morris County, our country club.
Yep.
And almost. And we played a bunch of young tennis players in the third round, both named Will. One Will in. One's Ken Person's son, and we managed to get by them. But then we ran into a tough one with Jake Toole. And what's Jake Toole's partner's name? Luke? I don't know his last name.
I'm going to shout out Luke here right now because he foot faults, and I'm going to put him on shame right now.
I should have freaking called it. We could have won.
No, expect all of your Instagrams to be full with Foot Fault Fridays. I mean, we in New Jersey are cracking down here.
Really?
We have had he goes for it. I love it. I love it.
Irdoja,
Although it puts
Zimmer.
them down 2-0, I like it.
Irdoja, Zimmer lead the
Now, John,
second
do you
set,
count as
2
a
games
pro
to love.
at Morris County? Or
Yes, if you ask
No,
Viking, no.
no,
But
I-
Morris County, I think he's a pro.
Morris County is where I play out of. And
Let's
by the way,
also-
Morris County has hosted the final of the League Classic.
Yes, it has. And the
Also a
final of the
nice new facility
quarterfinal.
there as well.
What's that?
Correct.
Your facility is pretty awesome as well.
Pretty nice too, and maybe third in New Jersey. I don't want to argue with Blake, but yeah, I think Steve DeRose and Jamie Ferraro won the League Classic at Morris County in a tremendous effort. They beat Drew Broderick and Pat Shawcross.
Very good.
And I remember that was on a very late. I think I was on vacation in Mexico, and watched that. I think that match didn't end until about 11:30 or 11:45.
One of the coldest nights we've ever held the League Classic.
I was really hoping to see Steve DeRose in there, but
He's here.
Probably my favorite,
Oh, he's here.
favorite person to watch play paddle of all time.
He's in your car.
Do you know where? Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
me
going to
too.
say. Do you know
Me
where
too,
he is?
especially
he's
when
in
he's
either
at-
your car, my car, John's car, or Dave Broderick's car.
Yeah.
And nobody knows yet. And
Some
by the
great
way,
guests by there.
by the way, we need to. I think we need to talk about Evan a little bit more here.
More
Again,
than
playing with
not at all?
Mikk. Playing with Mikk is easy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Evan on Pro Flight here, doing an incredible job on the live stream.
Evan at Pro Flight here has been killing it.
He's not here. Evan couldn't make it tonight.
I must have the wrong guy.
No, we need to talk about Evan Zimmer.
Yeah, let's talk about Evan. He's playing solid.
Again,
you know, it's
playing with Mikk is probably an easier thing to do.
as long as you don't have to deal with him mentally.
But playing with the role that he is given is definitely one of the harder things to do.
Yeah, it's got it. It's definitely but he's playing solid. It's definitely the toughest thing when you're playing with the pro, and he is, and you're playing with somebody who's in the, one of the top 6 or 7 players in the country.
Top 3.
Top 6 or 3 players in the country.
Yes.
One or the other.
So again, real quick, we were talking about it before. None of this would have been possible, without Rob Scanoni, NJ MPTA board, all of their help, volunteers with all this tournament. This is, again, we talked about it, I think, in the semifinal stream. This is a Christmas for a lot of people of how big this is. You can tell by how many people we have out here. And this party won't stop for the next 3 hours, no matter what the match is doing.
Good stuff.
It's big stuff here. I love it. Again, I've started playing this since I was 13, and every year I look forward to this more and more. John, how many years have you played this? What's the first year you played this?
Chip Dyer and I played, I don't know, sometime in the 90s. We lost to Stulak and Bill Kloss. 97? 96. Oh, not 92. Oh, here comes the spin
here it
shot.
is.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh. That was pretty incredible. Mikk just walks back to keep the point.
Oh, he fires up the crowd.
The maestro.
The Estonian mojo is here, guys. And you know what I'm calling? I'm calling game. It's it. It's 3-0 in the second set. There's no coming back with Mikk Irdoja on the other court. Drew Broderick, there's coming back. Mikk Irdoja, there's no coming back.
How old were you, Blake, the first year I played the League Classic?
What year was it?
I don't know. You told me 90-something?
97 you played?
Maybe.
I was 5 years old. I was learning how. because I was a little behind.
Could you get to 7, or could you only get to a
No, I got there.
a tiebreak?
I got to 3 because that's how many games John Lubau would always win.
In a half a set.
No, again, this is something else. We have people out here, by the way. I know there's a guy out here, Ken Person. I think he's played this 35 years.
That's funny you say that. I played Ken Person with Chip in the first time I ever played the League Classic, and this year I played his son.
In the draw.
Yeah.
It's incredible how that again, I can't emphasize enough how big this is.
First year was played was
19.
This year
78.
78.
Bob Kleiner, I don't know his partner. I can't give you his partner, but I can tell you one person. Bob Kleiner was the first year. No, we've had some big winners. Anthony Cosimano, I think, is our biggest winner. 11 times. If there's anybody who beat 11 times, I'd like to know.
By the way, if he's 11, then Holler's 10.
But that's less than 11.
Fewer.
Correct. No, again.
Oh, spin shot.
All right, we are officially in desperation time, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a nice point.
I don't know.
Wow. So, Amin, tell us about your paddle history. You've how long have you been playing?
I picked up a paddle when I joined the Braeburn Country Club in Newton, Massachusetts in 2008. And no racket skills. It shows. I'm a soccer player, but I was hooked. So no claim to fame.
No big win?
I have 2 big losses.
Ooh, let's hear them.
Johan?
A league match against Johan. My partner was Matt Porter, who was Johan's.
Oh, I know Matt. Oh, I've played Matt before.
I faulted it. I faulted to lose the Matt in the 3rd set tiebreaker.
Okay.
So that was heartbreaking. And then against my current pro, who wasn't our pro at the time, Stephen Mitchell, 11 match points in a league match.
Who's Stephen Mitchell?
Stop it. My partner and I, Justin Sussman, had 11 match points in a league match against George Dorn and Steve Mitchell.
Wait.
Lost them all and
11.
lost the match.
11. What was the score when you had match points?
We were up 5-1 in the second.
Oh no. Okay, that's not good.
5-1 in the second.
Yes.
Guys,
did you win the second?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your APTA CEO on the air right now.
It was awful.
Is there footage of this?
There's a reason I'm known for for off the court, not on the court. My on the court
John,
highlight
let me
reel is
ask
not
you this.
very impressive.
This is unfair to pick on Amin. What's your best win, best loss?
Best win, best loss?
Yeah.
30.
Well,
40.
Drew reminded me of my best loss, and I reminded Drew of my best win.
Which is?
Well, both of them were with Steve DeRose in the 2000 and something national semifinals in New Jersey at Indian Trail when we Steve and I beat Drew and Chris Gambino.
That's a big one.
That's a good win.
And then there was a league match where we lost to Drew and Tony Brown 6-4, 6-3. So that might be the worst loss.
All right.
But
listen, we've all had it.
But Steve had eaten some Chinese food and was not feeling well at the time.
Okay.
Blake, what about you?
I've had my fair share. Not as bad as that whiff.
I mean, I was hoping you were going to dig something out from when you played in the Boston League.
All right. I've got some. I think I have some good ones. I think my best win, because I was not at the, the pinnacle at the time, was I played Juan and Parsons off of a.
Oh, nasty.
That is as good as it gets right there. Off of a fresh Nationals winner run.
Yep.
Martin and I beat them about 2-2. One of my worst losses. I've had a good amount of bad losses. I think. I don't know what year it was. I think one of my worst losses when I was 15. Actually, no, I'll take it back. I was 13 years old. My first match I've ever played in the men's league, New Jersey. Played a guy 75 years old. Guy came out on the court, khakis on. I said, I'm going to hurt this guy. And the issue is he hurt me.
Ooh.
I lost quicker than ever, and from that point on, I think I knew how to play paddle.
That's a good lifelong paddle.
And you know what? I have an even bigger surprise for everybody right now. I have an even bigger surprise. Mikk Irdoja's partner, better half, 10 times the player that Mikk Irdoja is going to join us on the air right now.
I will do the introduction. Have you done the
Sven.
introduction? Oh, you just did half the introduction.
Sven, Croatia, best backhand in the country, Budish. Sven,
hey, what's
welcome
up,
to
gents?
the air.
Hi, Sven. I just wanted, before we start, I just want to recognize that we've got
Wow, what a
international attention on this match because Sven's father, Sasha,
huge,
is watching this match in Croatia, where it is possibly close to 2 a.m. Possibly the biggest paddle fan who's never actually seen paddle played live.
Yes, and he's not just in an international. He's also out of the U.S. probably the biggest fan of paddle.
Okay, well there you go.
What about your American grandfather or father?
Oh,
Larry?
He's
the
the
best
manager.
photographer.
I almost feel like he's like
everything.
my half father.
Yes.
Hold on. So let's go back to this real quick.
By the way, Sven is Mick's tournament partner outside of the Jersey
There
League.
it is. That is my poach right there. I've been calling that since the semifinal.
Right.
I have to be honest, guys. I am
Irdoja,
pulling for
Zimmer
the young
lead
guns here.
You want 3 sets?
Give me 3 sets.
3 sets, we can get more time with Sven.
There you go.
3 sets, we
Yeah.
can have more time with Sven, and we can have another drink.
No.
Yes. Sven, is your
I
middle
got-
name Jen?
Svenjen?
Yes.
No, I gotta say, we're looking good for the second half of the season.
Oh, great.
This is happy to see the partner playing this well. Hopefully he closes it out.
Well, you just
Closes it out. What are you no, we want 3 sets.
3 sets. All right, yeah.
He can close it out in the third.
In the third.
And just
So,
Third set.
go ahead, John.
tiebreaker.
I say, you know, the funny thing.
Is it a full third set or is it a?
it's no super.
Oh, this is
It's not a pro flight for third set.
This is actually
Third
bigger
set
than
tiebreaker, or you
No.
keep going win by 2?
This is bigger than national.
No, Vinny's going to fire up the grill again if it goes to 3.
So, it's a good eye.
So Sven, you know, it's interesting. You got to be
15
careful
left.
next time you play with Sven because he's got a potential to take a lot of your balls after trying to dominate the court the way he has a little bit in this one.
With Mikk.
Yep, with Mikk.
Sorry,
Sven can't play with Sven.
30 left.
Can play with Sven Lalick.
He could.
It's not just
But he
after
won't.
a match like this. He loves to take all the balls. That's
So I actually think, and again, I think Drew mentioned this, I think that's one of actually Mick's positives of his last, let's call it year of, getting better is
30,
he was
15.
always the dominant player, playing with Dan Regan, playing with Jeff Morneau, and I think playing with you, Sven, it has changed a little bit where he is a little more forgiving in who takes what. Again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but
40,
I think that's one of the better things of Mick's game now is he's slowed it down. He has been
I
one of
agree.
the quickest players I've ever seen in the national tournament.
He can get
There's
anything.
no question about it. And since playing with you, and I will give you a ton of credit
Game.
in the fact that you slowed the game down and I think speed up, slow down better than most people.
Second set.
I
4
think you've helped
games
him
to
in that
1.
matter. So
yeah. I took some
Irdoja, Zimmer
psychology
won the first
courses
set, 6 games to 2.
taught by Larry.
taught by Larry. Absolutely.
See,
He's
this is important stuff to know.
Yes.
Psychology and photography.
yes.
There is no photographer better out there.
That's right. So, how many people do we have here?
You tell me. We took ballpark guesses. Lubau said 1,500. I said 750.
I think it's like around 2,000.
So I'll be hold on. I'm going to stand up real quick. We have about 100 people by the courts. I think we have about 1,000 people in the parking lot. We have food like a Chick-fil-A drive-thru right now. And again, nothing like this event. There's a full bar. We may have more than 2,000. And Sven, correct me if I'm wrong. This is your first League Classic.
First League Classic, that's
What
right.
do you think?
Yeah. No, I love it. This is amazing.
Why didn't you play last year?
It was canceled because of COVID.
Why didn't you play the year before?
I didn't feel like it.
I was in Croatia bathing in the waters.
That's it.
No, so who did you played with? An absolute veteran of the League Classic.
Oh, true legend.
And an Instagram hero.
That's true. Yeah, you made him famous.
Oh, tough miss here.
Robbie Schiffenhaus.
Robbie Schiffenhaus, Shifty Senior. Big shout out.
So hold on, I'm gonna cut in here. This is our 6th game. John, I've been talking 7th game. I'm calling this our 7th game. This is the most important game in the entire match.
4-1.
Right, if Matt and Dan,
oh no,
you gotta be careful here.
Not like this.
If Matt and Dan go down 5-1, I think we should start the buses, start the music, close the food down, never end the bar. If they win this game, I think we have a little bit of a different match here.
Hey, you mentioned music. I thought there's gonna be music playing while they're.
You know what?
What's
there was
happening with
music
that?
supposed to be played right now, but I'm not sure where it is.
We did have Greg Robertson singing Roxanne in the first in the semifinal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I think I don't know why they turned off the music, but you know what? There's time.
I
for
think
music.
they turned it off from what I just heard from the crowd to hear us a little better.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
What's the score in this
Sven,
game?
let's talk here.
What's up?
You are Mikk. You're in the finals. You're playing with a slightly weaker player. You're playing 2 guys, again, who have made the finals, gone a long way. What is your strategy?
I mean, looking at this, I wouldn't press too much because my partner is pretty good. He can hold his own. Yes.
Totally.
So, cheat a little bit over, look to make some moves, but don't overplay it.
Yeah, so again, can't emphasize that enough. Don't overplay it.
It's a very nice.
That right there is called
Zimmer.
overplaying.
Yeah.
I have watched more paddle than probably anybody in the world, and one of the biggest things I find is break point and game point. Who can win it? See, that's
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
If Mikk Irdoja can't get it, there's nobody else that can get it.
We might be going into the 3rd set.
Can I call that as a turning point? Our chair umpire just called what a shot.
Hey, buddy.
See, I said it from the get-go. Oh, I said it from the get-go. Evan Zimmer is the big. Oh, see, we're pushing. We can't push. Slow it down, my friends.
15 look.
What were you saying? What, Evan Zimmer?
Evan Zimmer is the X factor here,
Yeah.
and that should be a clear, obvious thought. But I'll emphasize it on a little more. Evan Zimmer's playing with one of the top 4 players in the entire country.
30 look.
He is going to rely a lot on him. But if he relies a lot on him and starts to fall back into the closet, we cannot just lob every ball and be passive. We have to be aggressive. I've seen more matches than a lot of people, again, with a good player and a weaker player, and you have to start pushing. So it's a good overhead from Matt right there.
What game is this?
30-15.
This is the 7th, I think it's the 7th game.
It is.
It is.
Some people would call this the all-important 7th game.
Great
Do you know who said that? The all-important 7th game?
Blake Anderson, son of John Anderson.
No. John is father of Blake Anderson.
I'm not sure that's the case.
And Blake is pro of Fairmont Country Club.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm really far down the ranks here.
I think the Fairmont Country Club is pro of you.
You know what? It could be, but
they're pro you.
You know what? As we talk about my club, I have to. We had a little team upset. Round of 32 in this tournament, we had a top 32 team go down to my guys.
Oh.
Stu Garrett, Mike Sullivan, second shout out of the entire night.
I thought Stu was a Marsh
That's
County.
Stu is
Chatham guy?
diehard
Chatham guy? Only Chatham?
Only Chatham. One of the best guys out there. If you need a logo, it is. It's bar none at Fairmont Country Club. I think John. So again, I'll give my club a little credit. Brookside is the far side. Matt Puig, Dan Wright. Brookside has 2 teams in this draw.
Irdoja, Zimmer.
How many teams does Fairmont Country Club
The
have?
second set, 5
How many
games,
teams?
2.
16?
11?
16
16 teams is
in
a
the
lot of
draw.
16 teams.
By the
Wow.
way-
We are cooking over there.
Let's change gears for a second and let Sven talk a little bit about his club. Sven took over from Mikk at Essex Fells, who took over from Scott Kaler at Essex Fells, who took over from Drew Brodiker at Essex Fells. But it's a great membership. Robbie Shiftenhouse, the Fuscos, Tony Brown probably creeps
Cusack.
around there.
Yeah.
Dennis Cusack. So talk
Dennis
about,
Cusack, big board member right there, by the way.
Yeah.
Huge help.
Talk about your program, Sven.
No,
And your ladies program.
Been now for a year and 3 months at Essex Fells Country Club, and
2-5.
absolutely love it. Great membership, super nice people, very busy program, and it's growing by the day. So very happy where I am, and hope I'll stay for many years.
Longer than Kaler?
Longer than Kaler, yes.
Yeah, that's
But
longer than
this-
LTK. Just LTK.
This is a big game, by the way.
3 points from the match.
3 points from the match, and again,
by
nobody can get that but him.
Well,
Sven, you're fast. You're not that fast.
No.
John, you're not that fast.
I
You're
was
definitely
once.
not that fast.
Wasn't I once? No, but I definitely wasn't.
So I'm fast when it comes to falling down to the ground.
You are good at
that.
that.
Yeah, I'm very fast.
Sven would take 2 steps.
Yeah. So what is this?
It's 5-2 second set.
15 left. Or left 15.
Love 15.
15.
15 all.
15 all. Listen, if I could call it, I'd call comeback here.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to call it.
Go ahead, call it, because if it doesn't
I'm not.
happen, nobody will remember it. But if it does happen, everybody will.
No. See, I have more guys at my club that will be like, you screwed up. And to be completely honest with you, I have a
16 teams worth of guys, right?
Mikk. I know Mikk knows how to close out matches because I've played with him and against him. Like
Wow.
that right there. There's no, you can't do that. Oh, look at this. This is silly, guys.
Mikk should have done something more with that last one.
Can we slow the point down?
Point.
Oh no! Guys,
unnecessary. Point of the tournament.
No,
young blood.
If you want me to be honest, that was necessary.
What? Hit it to the bottom of the net?
Yeah. If you're in your first final,
Debatable.
you gotta turn the crowd.
Yeah, but you gotta. All right. We'll agree that.
Don't get me wrong. You probably should make it.
We'll agree that you're right.
Okay.
15.
How about that one?
Sven, you know your partner more than anybody in the entire world.
Championship point, by the way.
Championship point.
He's going
Right
down
at the,
the
guy
line.
Net, right at the guy net.
No.
Oh.
This is it. I'm gonna call this is it. Sven?
I think
Nick?
so.
John?
Nick, how great would it have been if but Nick? No, the young kids win this one.
The young kids. All right. This has trouble. Wow. Wow. John Lubau is a veteran of the game. Sven and Blake know nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. But
John,
it
double or nothing.
could- No, it's over now.
It's over. Wow,
Ooh.
Evan making a move. There it is.
Success takes hard work. Making success a legacy takes discipline. PPAC Private. Your legacy, our discipline.
The new athletes come up with new ways and new strategies to try and play the sport. It used to be played in a very traditional type of style, but now there are about 6 or 7 different service styles, many different ways you can attack or play a point, and it's just an exciting new territory that the sport has gone into.
Paddle is like a chess game. It's a combination of a lot of shots. You're not gonna kill the king with one move.
I truly believe that every person can be taught a little differently. There's no textbook way to play this game.
If they can see the court a certain way, then their shot selection makes more sense.
The earlier you're able to do something, the less perfect you have to be.
But you need to be patient and let them come to you. If you start trying to force the point, then I think you lose more than you'll win.
From this website, we really want to make learning easy. We know that paddle can be a lot. When you're out there, you're thinking of hitting the ball, you're thinking of the screens, you're thinking of your technique. There's a lot of things going on. So we want to break things up into bite-sized pieces that make it easy for you to digest, easy for you to learn, and then easy for you to implement in your game. That is our goal.
I want to use my whole body to rotate through, and that's what's going to give you more power.
As soon as you recognize your opponent is hitting a lob, step back 2 steps so you can help cover the space behind you.
Positioning, preparation, and patience.
Keep that ball going in there.
Take a risk, have some fun.
There it is, perfect.
I'm Johan de Ron.
I'm Florentina Hanisch.
I'm Drew Broderick.
Macy Elliott.
Mark Powers.
Jerry Vians.
Hi, I'm Stephen Mitchell.
Anna Maria Zabori.
Martin Bostrom.
Marcela Rodesna.
And this is my paddle.
This is my paddle.
This is my paddle.
This is my paddle.